did what we call division. We did division in 2 ways last week. We did it the traditional way last week, and we did it the Spider-Man way last week, okay? I call it Spider-Man. You may want to call it Tarzan. We'll get to that in just a moment. But the key thing is understanding your multiplication facts. So here we go. Giving you heads up right now, this will have a remainder. When you divide, sometimes there will be a remainder, sometimes it will not be a remainder. In this case, this one will have a remainder. And I'm going to do it, the Spider-Man way first, okay? This is going to look kind of weird, but it's the same thing as going up and down. I'm just going from one side to the other. I'm going, what we call this, horizontal. Usually we go vertical when we divide, but I'm going to go horizontal. So check this out. What I have to do here, my 5. If you remember last week, we said our 5 is our outside number. That is our divisor. Okay, that 5 is our divisor. The number we put inside is called our dividend. So that's 5 and 7. 5 and 2. And then I go 5 and 6. I'm going to step back real quick, let you see what I just did. I just took this 5 right here, which is my dividend. Excuse me, my divisor. I'm sorry, I'm talking too fast. My divisor's on the outside. That's what I'm putting on the outside there. Now, I'm going to take this dividend on the inside and I'm going to break it up. So I'm going to have 7 here, the 2 here, and the 6 here. Okay? And watch what we get ready to do next. My question is, what times 5 is going to give me close to 7 without going over? All right, what do I need? I need my pick and choose chart for my 5, starting at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I go from 0 to 9 because up here on top, only one digit is allowed to fit. So I can go put an X here, or just like we just said, I can put a, I'm excited about this. When we put an X, don't forget, what do we call this? This is called intersecting lines. Anytime you make an X, it's called intersecting lines. Intersecting. So that's what a multiplication sign looks like. All right, 9. I'm going to do my 5s on the outside. As we said before, we have information right here, and right now I'm making an equation. As long as you have an equal sign on it, that makes it an equation. So what we got right here, that's going to be 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. All I did, this is what I call a pick and choose chart. It's called a pick and choose chart. On my pick and choose chart, all I'm doing right now is just showing my multiplication facts. So what's going to happen now, I ask the question, what times 5 gives me close to 7 without going over? What times 5? Thank you, sir. What times 5 gives me close to 7 without going over? Now, since this is a 7, I go here 0, 5, 10. 10 has gone over. We don't want it to go over. Okay, so we got our 5 here, so that'll be 1 times 5. So that's 1 times 5 is 5. I subtract, and I have a 2 left over. Okay, now I have a 2 left over. So now what I have to do with my 2, I'm going to, just like Spider-Man. Those who've seen Spider-Man in the comic books or on the movies or on the television show, if you remember the television show, on the cartoon, he shoots it out of his wrist and he connects himself over here. So I'm moving my 2 in front of this other 2. So my new number is going to be 22. Okay? If you don't like the Spider-Man scenario, some of you may remember George of the Jungle or Tarzan. Ah! Whatever way you want to do, that's what you got to do. You got to move this 2 over here. I didn't go up. I went over. I went over. So now I got what? Multiplied by 5 is going to give me 22 without going over. What's going to give me 22 without going over? I'm coming back here. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 25 just went what? Over. 25 just went over. So what I need for you to do right now is go back up to our 20. And that gives us 4 times 5. So I put a 4 here. 4 times 5 is 20. You subtract. Because understand why we're subtracting. Because when you're dividing and you're taking away small groups. Just like when you multiply, you're adding large groups. So here we go. 4 times 5 is 20. You subtract, that gives us our 2. All right, get your spider web out. Shoot it over here. And put a 2 in front, and that gives us 26. You guessed it. What are we going to do next? We're going to ask ourselves what times 5 will give us 26 without going over. What times 5 will give us 26 without going over? 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Uh-oh. 30 has gone what? Over. Since 25 has gone over, we now come back up to the 25. And what gives us 5? 5 times 5 is 25. Subtract, and that's 1. We don't have anything for it attached to, so we're going to put an R out here, and that's our remainder of 1. Okay, so if you want to connect it over here to the R, okay, that's what's going to happen. Look at this, see if you have any questions or concerns, okay? I just call this, like I said, some people may call it vertical division. Excuse me, vertical up and down, horizontal division, because most of you are used to doing horizontal, going up and down, but we were going this way. Or I call it Spiderman Division, or you can call it Tarzan Division. It's up to you. It's your choice, as long as you get the answer correct. All right, now I want to do the traditional way. All right, what we do, some schools do something they call, does McDonald's serve burgers raw? Does McDonald's serve burgers raw? Okay, that's what we call an acronym. Now, in the acronym, the D stands for actually dividing. The M stands for multiplying. The S stands for subtracting. The B stands for bring down. And the R stands for repeat or remainder. I almost put reminder up there. All right. So take a look at that real quick. And I'm going vertical this time, going up and down. I'm going vertical, going up and down. And this is nothing fancy. I put the DMSBR, does McDonald's serve burgers raw? Your teacher may have a different acronym for it, but the key thing is you want it to divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and repeat. Now, when it comes to this one going up and down, I like to put what I call columns, or I'll put elevator shafts in between, because that helps me to understand what I'm looking for. And it keeps our math a little bit more organized. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put dots on top of here and put the word what. And put the X, which stands for times. And I'm going to do the same thing I did before. What times 5 gives me close to 7 without going over? I'm still looking at my pick and choose chart right here. 0 times 5 is 0. Remember, anything times 0 is going to be 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 10 has gone over. We can't use that. So what are we going to use? We're going to come back up here and 1 times 5. I place my 1 up here. Okay, and so going here, I'm dividing, and now I'm multiplying. 1 times 5, which will give me 5. Next piece is I'm going to subtract. And that's what I'm doing right now. I divide it. Now I multiplied 1 times 5. Now I'm going to subtract 7 minus 5, which will give us 2. Now, in this case right here, with our 2 right here, I'm not shooting it across because I tell you I'm doing this up and down. I'm doing like up and down like elevator. I call it like an elevator. So now I'm going to go up the elevator shaft. I'm going to check this off here, and I'm going to press boom, like the elevator calls it down. And this is where I'm going to be, bring down. This is my B. I'm going to bring it down. And right now, beside I'm going to put a 22. And so my new number is going to be 22. Now, I don't have a remainder yet. I won't have a remainder until I get to the very end here. So what I have to do is continue to repeat the steps that I just did. So I'm going to ask myself, go back up, what times 5 gives me close to 22 without going over? It should look the exact same way that I did it when I did it going across or when I did it going horizontally. And if you came up here, 0, 1, 2, 3, you got 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 has gone what? Over. Since that has gone over, that means that we have to go up 1 to 20. And that's 4 times 5. 4 times 5 will give us 20. Subtract. I divide it once again. I multiplied 4 times 5, which is 20. Now I have to subtract. This is all this 4 right here. This is our device right here. Does McDonald's serve burgers raw? And we have 2. Okay. Now, I'm not ready for my remainder, so I'm going to go back up the elevator, check it off, press my button, and now I'm going to bring down my 6. And I've created another number. What's my new number? 26. So now I got to figure out 26 divided by 5 is what? That's the division part. Now I'm going to multiply. I just realized that. All right, 26. So that means what times 5 is going to give me 26 without going over? 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 has gone what? Over. So we have to come back up to the 5 times 5 is 25. Mr. Jones, that looks exactly like the other way. It is. They're the exact same way, except you have to decide whether you want to go up and down or if you want to do the Spider-Man and go across. The exact same answers, the exact same way. I just wanted to show you something different. 5 times 5 is 25. Why are we doing that? Because that's multiplying. 5 times 5 is multiplying. And then our S, which means to do what? Subtract. 26 minus 25 is 1. I go back up and I check off. We don't have anything else. All I have is my R. And I bring this back up here, and remainder of 1. As I said before, you're going to be the one that has to decide which way is going to work best for you. Okay? There's no right way. There's no wrong way. The things that I've shown you are good. The way that your mom shows you, that's good. The way that your teacher at your individual school shows you, that's good too. Okay? But you have to decide which way is going to be the best way for you to solve this. All right, I'm going to pause real quick, see if we have any questions. I do believe I got time for one more. Whoops, I'm dropping stuff. I think I got time to do one more division problem. And then we get to say our goodbyes. All right, those that have been with me before, go and do your pick and choose for your sevens for me, please. Go and do your pick and choose for your sevens. All right, so I started my first part doing my multiplication tables here. This is nothing fancy, folks. All I'm doing is making, I call it a pick and choose chart of my multiplication facts. And what is my divisor, is my outside number. I'm going to put a 7 on the outside here. Now, as you remember, I told you a couple of weeks ago, when I don't have an equal sign with this, this is called an expression. When I don't have an equal sign, it's just called an expression. Hey, y'all. I'm excited to get this. My favorite multiplication fact is popping up here. That's why I like doing sevens. Now that I've put an equal sign, I've now made an equation. Anything times 0 is going to be 0. 7, 14, 21, 20, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56. That's my favorite multiplication fact. And 63. I love 56. That's my favorite multiplication fact. All right. Oh, why? All right. I'll show it to you one more time. Because 8 times 7 is 56. And if you look at it this way, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 8, 7, 6, 5, however you want to look at it. That's why that's my favorite right there. It's awesome. There's so many different patterns in math. Woo! Okay. I'm going to go horizontal. I'm going side by side. Not I'm going vertical second. I'm going horizontal tonight. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go 7, 7, and 7. And what I'm going to end up doing is putting one of the digits from each of the place values. The 4 is in the hundreds place. I'm not putting zeros. My 6 is in the tens place. And the 9 is in the ones place. And the first question I ask myself, what times 7 gives me close to 4 without going over? I look at my answers, okay? Over here is my answer. The answer to a multiplication is either a factor or a multiple. It's either a factor or a multiple. So this is what we're looking at. So what times 7 gives us 4? 7 has gone what? Over. We can't use that one. So we're using this right here. What times 7 gives us 4? All right, it's going to have to be the 0. 0 times 7 is going to be 0. We're going to subtract. Same thing over here. You can use the DMSBR for this as well too. It's the exact same thing, y'all. Exact same thing, you all. What times 7 is 0? 4 minus 0 will give us 4. I'm going to Spider-Man it over here, which is going to give us 46. Questions or concerns? That gives us 46. Now, come over here. What times 7 gives us close to 46 without going over. 0, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. 49 has gone what? Over. Since 49 has gone over, we have to go up to 42, which gives us 6 times 7. That's my multiplication part. So what is that? 6 times 7 is 42. And you subtract there. I do my subtraction, and that should be 4, if I did that correctly. 4, 5, 6. We'll Spider-Man it. Connect this 4 to this 9 in the front, and that'll give us a new problem of 49. I'm excited about this one, folks. Here we go. 0, 7, 14, 21. Looking at the answers, 28, 35, 42, 49. If it's exact, that's what we want. And what gives us that? 7 times 7 is 49. You subtract, and that's a 0. Okay? So we don't have a remainder here. So my answer here would actually be 67. Remainder of 0. Questions or concerns? Questions or concerns?